Hiya there and welcome to Attorney Collectibles. Right, what I'm going to talk about today basically is why us as a business, Attorney Collectibles, no longer have a shop basically and why we chose to sell online instead. Just some of the reasons because quite a few people say to us, oh, I remember your shop and why don't you have a shop anymore? Well, I'm going to basically tell you a few things and some of it is down to the police and just things like that. Right, we used to own a collectible store and we basically what we did is we had a unit originally. We used to do eBay and stuff like that. And then someone offered us a cracking deal on a shop. And we decided to move over and get a shop. And we did it all up and spent our time. But we found some serious issues with having a shop. Some of them were customers coming in, and obviously we sell antiques and collectibles. A lot of things getting broken when you sell collectibles, as I'm sure a lot of people may watch this and they sell collectibles, as soon as someone bends a packet, on a vintage Star Wars figure, it's worth nothing. We used to get a lot of that happen. Also, what we did, because I won't say I'm completely old, but I'm quite down with the kids and stuff like that. What we tended to do, because we were action figures and we're all geeky and stuff like that, we attracted a lot of teenagers and kids. And in the end, what we had is a lot of fighting outside the shop, a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs and stuff like that. You'd phone the police, and the police always, you need evidence, this and that. And it got to the point, because I try and be nice to everyone. If there were fights outside with all the gangs of kids, they'd run in and get me to help. And I remember once in the shop, there was an absolute fight with all the kids. Glass cabinets smashed all over the floor, all because two kids are having a fight in the middle of the shop because one of them's coming to get protection. What he thinks I'm going to do when I'm trying to run a business. Stupid stuff like that. And the police, I'm sorry, but you're absolutely useless. The amount of robbing, and also because we were still doing eBay back then and we had an online business, what was also happening is we'd wrap the parcels up and we'd get them ready for the post, and then we were finding that customers were stealing the packages we were trying to get out for customers. And if anyone's ever sold an eBay and you go, I'm sorry, your parcel's missing, it's been stopped, they don't believe you. It's just another excuse. But genuinely, this is what happened. I remember once I was selling quite a lot of Mini Champ motorbikes, and they're pretty expensive things, between 50 and £100 each. And some kid decided to pick them all up off the counter as we're about to get them ready for the delivery guy to come and get them, and he stole them all. Customer gave me negatives on eBay as a result. So that was another reason. Also, as much as I really love the shop and I loved walking into a shop and it, looking like these comic guys, stores, you've seen them on eBay, I'm not eBay, sorry, internet, and you walk through and you've got shops and they're full of He-Man figures. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love walking in and opening the door in the morning and just seeing all the shelves full of and it looking really cool. Now it's a bit disheartening, I must say. All my stock is in Sealy bags, in storage bins, and it's all literally stacked up on shelves where no one can have access to it but me. And literally, customers can't even come round and go, whatever. I have to go into the storage facility. If a customer gives me a call, this is what does happen. If a customer gives me a call now and goes, I want G.I. Joes, what we do, we arrange a time, he comes to my home and I'll bring the storage. But I don't allow anyone access to any of the vaults now. And it was mainly because of damage. Another thing we used to get a lot of, and this is this is just, it happens. We get a lot of people who collect the die-cast tend to be older people, and they're a little bit clumsy with their old age. And yes, we've had a few shelves fall over from pensioners. Basically, their legs aren't too great, and their glasses and stuff like that. It sounds silly, but it was just the conditions of things getting damaged. Also, I've gone on to this about how to protect your own. Also, the sunlight bouncing into the big shop windows used to bleach the cards, which then especially if it's a vintage He-Man, Castle Grayskull, and it's in your cabinet, and the sun's bouncing off it, it fades over time. So there's quite a few reasons why we no longer have a shop. As I say, I did enjoy doing it. but it was more time consuming. Also, now I can literally sit at home like I'm here now in the second living room we've got in our house. I'm just sat here literally importing Lego figures and die-cast models with no one bothering me, no one coming in, and I'm just listening. When we had a shop, every minute everyone wanted a conversation with me, tell me all about their history, and I'm not working and I'm not getting orders out. That is another problem. When we did have the shop, if it was really busy and we did have a load of orders on the website or on eBay, or can't remember where else we were selling. I used to have a Bricklink store as well, which is a Lego store, which I have still got it, but I've closed it due to other commitments at the moment. But if we had orders on those and the shop was full, I couldn't do it. So there is many reasons why we have no longer got a shop because we went bankrupt or anything like that. That's not completely true. What really happened is it was just all the trouble, mainly with the kids outside. As I said, we tried to be nice to everyone, and everyone was nice, but there was a few. Well, it's just society nowadays. It's just kids outside smoking weed, and they'd even be on my doorstep outside going, "Can I sit here to roll a spliff?" And it's ridiculous when you've got people wanting to come in your door and you've got youths outside rolling spliffs. And as I say, the police, absolutely ridiculous. I didn't want anyone in trouble. I just wanted people to move on. Yeah, it got absolutely stupid. So, in my opinion, we don't sell as much as we used because it was easy with shop people walking in and doing this. And now with a website, it is harder for people to actually know who we are. So it's took a longer process, but in the long term, it is actually building at a better rate than a shop. But, you know, we just need customers basically to spot the website and stuff like that. And as I say, now I haven't got the distractions of kids talking to me and everyone else. I'm just literally sat at home and we're inputting. So as I say, it's a shame Eternia's Collectibles no longer have a shop. And what we should have done is we had a unit and it was on a trading estate and it was off the main road and cars could still come down and people could see me. But because all the builders and stuff used to be on a little trading estate, no kids would come down there because they were scared shitless of the other unit owners. We should have stayed there. But what happened is someone offered me this cracking looking shop with the same price as what I was paying for the unit. And I just leapt at it. But obviously now looking back, there was a reason why the shop was so cheap. That's what I will tell any of you people out there. If there is a shop anywhere and it's going really cheap and it's too good to miss, there's a reason for it. I should have done my research. A few issues, you know, the shop looked really nice and whatever. It was also next to a pizza shop. And my process it didn't cut on. If you want a shop, I suggest a really good place to have a shop is next to a post office, because a post office is always busy, especially on, you know, pension day or dole day. So if there's ever a shop going next to a post office, that's a good idea. But never get a shop, especially a collectibles ones or anything. You know, newsagent's great next to a pizza shop. You don't get an antiques business or anything a little bit prestigious or anything like that next to a fast food outlet, because it's just going to attract kids. And my research into this, as I say, £300 a month this shop was, and I thought, cracking deal, you know. I won't have to do as much packing. People are just going to come through the front door. But as I say, so much stuff got stolen and stuff like that. As I say, some people would get me to talk, or I'd be doing an order and I'd be trying to keep an eye on someone else. And to be honest, it's so easy to open the door, just get everything, you know, on the display and walk out the door. And I will say also a massive issue in the shop we had, and I'm certainly not racist or anything like this, and a lot of people in England get a bad time, and the people who tend to get the bad press in England are Asians, but that's completely a load of rubbish. It's not. We had a serious problem with Romanian gypsies, basically, and I think a few shops do. And what they do is they come in with all their kids, and their kids are like 3, 4, stuff like that, and there'll be a woman, and they're really professional thieves. You know, I guess that's their culture they're brought up in. But yeah, we got fleeced by Romanians so many times, and my brother has a model shop as well, and that exactly happens to him as well. And you can't just ban people from your shop. You've just got to watch what you're doing. But yeah, Romanian thieves are pretty shocking. So if you're new and you do have a shop, all I can say is I should have done this. I was so excited at the time, you know, going from a unit to a shop. I just didn't think about the people around the area and the stuff like that. As I said, it was my area. Well, I haven't said that, but it was my area and I knew the people, and maybe that was a problem. Maybe I was just too friendly and I was part of the community, and they didn't see it. They saw it as they were friends. Oh, it's good old town down the road, you know, blah de blah. Yeah, a bit of a problem. Anyway, I just wanted to say, I'm probably just waffling as I do in a few of these videos now, but a few people have gone, oh, you've got a shop. No, we do have a shop. It's completely strictly online. I will allow people, if you message me by appointment, you can happily knock my front door and we can arrange, you know, to view the items I do have. But nothing's visible anymore. Nothing can get stolen. No one knows actually where the stock is. It's just in a storage. When I get an order, I literally get all my orders, I print them all off, I go to the storage place, you know, obviously like you do to work, and I pick all the orders and then post them. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing is nicely on shelves anymore, which is good for you collectors, to be honest, because you know if you're seeing something on my website and it's described and pictured, it's exactly the same and it should not go missing either. Well, the only way it goes missing is if I've made a mistake. But before, a lot of things were getting stolen because they were also in the shop and they were listed online. And what I used to do is if it's sold in the shop, I'd quickly delete it online, vice versa. But when stuff is getting stolen and it's not getting deleted, and then you get an order online and it's not there, we were having a lot of issues like that. So it was a good job, actually. As much as I gotta admit, I miss the shop for a few reasons. It was just a break from the wife as well. Sometimes, you know, it was like my man cave. Even though it was a shop, what I used to do is go there and I could get my laptop out, my cup of coffee. We used to have, you know, a cooker in the back, and I could make my food. And it was like a man cave, but it was also a business. But as I say, it just got so on top with kids and drugs and what the poor kids do, you see, because I don't want to give them too many excuses, but I can see it. I was a kid once, you know. When I was a kid, there was youth clubs on the corner. I used to go boxing, you know, from the age of 13 onwards. You know, that's the thing I did. You know, I don't think there's opportunities for kids like that. They say, what was I doing? I was doing toy fairs when I was a kid. I was boxing when I was a kid. All sorts. And there's stuff like that for kids. So what they do is they just drink and smoke and do drugs and stuff like that. That's all they do. So I can't blame them. But because of this weed, see, weed isn't bad. But the problem with weed is as much as everyone says it isn't addictive, it bloody well is. And kids who are 14, 15, and they're already hooked on drugs, they want some more on Friday night. And if they haven't got the money, what they do is they go and rob to, you know, pay for it. And that's what they're doing. They'll walk in my shop, rob a 50 quid model, go to the old man across the road who they know collects models. And I know it happened, even though he said it didn't. And he'll go and give them 15 quid for the 50 quid model. And then they go and get their drugs. And that's basically what was happening. And as I say, I don't want to make excuses for kids, but I understand that. When I was 13, 14 years old, no word of a lie, I was making between £300 and £400 a week, which is considerably more than most people make now. And that's because I was doing things like I used to have a paper round, I used to do toy fairs, which aren't as big now because eBay is around. What we used to do is every week I'd be doing a toy fair. And this is the age of 13, 14, I was at school. So when I was a kid, I was absolutely loaded. I didn't need the money. I had money coming out my ears. Kids don't have that now. I don't see paper rounds. Obviously, there's YouTube and stuff like that. But even with YouTube, what they've done is kids had a choice with that. But now with this 1,000 subscriber thing and whatever, kids could get 30 quid, 40 quid a month from it, you know, and maybe that'd do their beer money and stuff like that. But YouTube have got strict with that. So that's sort of gone tits up for a lot of people as well. So basically, it's happening a lot. I live in Birmingham, which is a big city. And if someone like me has to close a shop in Birmingham because of the kids, it only makes me think, why every time you go into Dudley and play, it's just ghost towns. The shopkeepers and whatever have got to be more protected. You cannot get, if someone comes in your shop and does it, I wanted to smack the crap out of a fair few people in that shop, who come in and try to steal and whatever. You can't, you've got to be so nice and go, you're just banned. I'll tell you what I did do once actually in the shop. Some kids caused some trouble. So I did close the shop one day actually. And the kids would try to moan at me, what are you doing outside? And they went, oh, you're going to fight me? And I went, no. And I got on my bike, went round the house, and yeah, I threatened to kick the shit out of his dad. And I knocked the door and grabbed his dad and said, seriously, sort your kids out. Did do that once, I did. Which I felt really sorry because the dad was actually quite nice. But I'd got to that much of a point where it's because basically one of the kids kicked my missus. And it really, I'm quite laid back, but it did really, really piss me off. Telling the police and whatever, sorry, but no one's going to hit my wife. Not some scrawny little fucking 15, 16-year-old kid on weed. Not a fucking chance. So, yeah, I went that round and I basically told the kid and whatever. Anything else happens and you'll find your dad buried. It made me angry. But in the end, I can't go around doing stuff like that. I'm a 35, 40-year-old bloke nearly. Well, I can't go threatening people's dads just because their kids are out of order. So the best thing to do was just close the shop in the end and have an online business. But I do think the police and everything has to protect shopkeepers. I do know that the paper shop, there was one of those. He used to go and beat the kids up quite a lot. He had a son, and his son took no grief whatsoever. Anyone come in that shop and tried to rob you, they're outside getting a smacking. But it's not the way to run a business, is it? It's just not. Anyway, thanks for looking. And sorry I waffled. I just wanted to explain a little bit why we don't have a shop. It was just too much hassle. And on top of having all this grief, right, and you're asking the police to protect your shop, right? And you've got business rates to pay on top. You're paying the council tax. You're paying all these prices to the council extra because you've got a shop and it's retail. What the fuck are they doing? Sorry about me trying to swear. It got to the point where, what the hell am I paying all this money for? What are the police doing? Seriously. Anyway, thanks for looking. Sorry I waffled a bit. Ta-da.